So yeah, man, I just recorded a video like 4 minutes of this shit already, but my mic was muted, so I'm here to redo it again. I fucking hate when I do that because I was giving opinions and stories that would have been cool for y'all to hear. And well, not either way, man. I have to go to work soon, so I gotta press play on this bitch. I'll only stop it
There are
when it's something new. I have to say.
no more.
It sucks, bro, because I honestly get some
less.
cool background lore
A
about
master.
Star Wars.
And an apprentice.
Star Wars
Yeah.
always has these great master-apprentice relationships.
That's facts.
Remember, a Jedi can feel the Force flowing through him.
You see that handing down of mastery, the teaching, the developing.
That's so weird that that shit was in
growing.
the Book of Boba Fett. That little 2-3 episodes, bro. I enjoyed it, but it was weird. Iconic line. Do not.
It's
There is no
very
try.
much
Man,
the
oh yeah, we're not watching that.
world.
Fuck that.
In the case of Star Wars.
Get that shit off my screen when the fuck that movie.
Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
Iconic fight.
Those
Get that shit off my screen.
All of that wisdom gets passed down, you know, over those generations.
Shout out Carrie Beck.
We
She
have
brought back
Qui-Gon
Clone
Jinn,
Wars.
who's the master of Obi-Wan, who's the master of Anakin Skywalker. And by being trained by Anakin,
Ah, look at her, man.
Ahsoka
That's
is
our
part
girl,
of that
bro.
legacy as well.
That's our girl. I hope the fights are really cool. Origin. Yeah, look at her, man. I still remember. Hey, man, I still remember that fucking. I still remember that movie and the day I first like was introduced to Ahsoka, because Clone Wars. For most of you probably don't know, Clone Wars is what made me a Star Wars fan. I was around Ahsoka's age when I first saw that Clone Wars movie, right? The first thing that I think that ever released. Then the show came out. Excuse me. But it's crazy to think that a lot of people hate Ahsoka when she first came out, and now they all love her. But I just want to say this: since day one, I loved Ahsoka. All right, and it makes sense. Obviously, you know that she's young. I was young. I was like in elementary school when she was first introduced to the canon. So it makes sense like why I was able to relate to her and all that, and that definitely helps. I'm not gonna lie. I can also see why other fans hated her, but I mean now they finally see why she's a GOAT. And in my opinion, Ahsoka's my second favorite Star Wars character of all time. Not only that, she's one of my favorite female characters in IRL like characters, and like by that I mean like live action people, like in live action and animated together. She's like my favorite one. Ahsoka's my number one. I just think she's like so cool, bro. I can't wait to go to next Star Wars Celebration and meet the voice actor, and hopefully Rosario Dawson's there too. But I loved her since day one. Let that be known. Ah, it's muted. My bad.
We didn't really know, exactly what the Clone Wars was going to be, and we made up our own little band of characters. There was a character that was a Jedi, and there was a Padawan, and thought we'll put them on adventures. But George had other ideas. He says, well, in this character, and he points to the Padawan we had, and he says, let's give Anakin Skywalker a Padawan. And I was like, Anakin doesn't have Padawan. And he just looked at me and said, Anakin has a Padawan. And that was basically it. That's how Ahsoka came about.
George wasn't the greatest writer, because obviously the prequel trilogy is an example of that. But as in terms of a visionary, George is unmatched. He created a whole universe, bro. He created a whole fan base. Like, it's insane. And I kind of miss that in current Star Wars. So I feel like the closest thing we have to George is Dave Filoni. I just wish sometimes George Lucas would come back just to give his ideas. You know what I mean? That would be really raw.
And to be the voice of the character. And she's fantastic in the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Ahsoka is one of the most well-developed characters in Star Wars, period.
That's fact.
She's the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker. She's the only one that he is trained to be a Jedi.
This young teenage girl who was trained to be a keeper of the peace had to become a warrior worthy of standing next to the greatest Jedi of all time.
Dave's journey.
Ahsoka's story and her growth has mirrored my own. As you see my style of storytelling mature, the stories got more complex.
That's
It
cool
had grown
concept
to
art.
the
What the
point
fuck?
where I wanted to take what I was doing in animation and really see if I could get it to this type of storytelling that I'd grown up with in Star Wars. Mandalorian season 1 was a perfect place for me to experiment with my own creativity and style, but have a great backstop and support from collaborating with all these other extraordinary people.
You must reunite it with its own kind.
This is the way.
So when season 2 came around, I was like, for my episode, I was like,
This is where I found out my mic was muted, and I was like, "Fuck, god damn it! Now I got to redo this all over again."
well, I'm gonna do Ahsoka. I'm like, I just need to try this. Let's do it.
Oh, I remember watching this fucking episode, dude. I was schmitting the whole time, dude.
For a
I was
character
schmitting
that
the
has
whole
such
time.
depth and complexity to bring
Just
that
like a
character
grin
to
on
live
my face,
action
bro. I'm
made
like,
a
it's live
tremendous
action
amount of sense.
Ahsoka.
Tell me what I want to know. Where is your master?
Badass episode
George
too.
visited the set when
Woo,
we were
yeah.
filming the lightsaber fight in the Japanese garden, season 2. And I think it was really encouraging of Dave stepping up to this role. And so George would turn to Kathy and myself and be proud of Dave. He was Dave's teacher, and Dave was his apprentice.
Yeah, bro. Such a special bond between those two, bro. It's awesome.
There are moments when I just stare at her and I'm just like, wow, she just looks like this thing I've drawn, you know, but Sarah's done all the research. Like, she knows the character, but now she has to become it in a way that's never happened before.
That must be so cool, man.
Yeah, it actually, the thing that feels most awkward right now is talking with you. You know, the posing and you know, sort of the stances we're doing, that's not unusual, but speaking as Rosario while in Ahsoka is a little startling. I really love the transformation and really deep diving into who she is.
Rosario Dawson is just such an incredibly powerful actress, and she loves this character. I think everything about who Ahsoka is has just brought to life in a way that almost nobody else could.
She not only gets a character, but she gets like the Star Wars of it all, which is an important ingredient. You have to be in it. This is a hard thing. You're gonna have to be painted orange every day. You're gonna have to put a prosthetic on your head every day. You're gonna be training like a Jedi to learn how to lightsaber fight almost every day.
I'm playing
I would
someone
look
who is an
forward to that,
absolute
bro.
expert. And so I really wanted to be able to physicalize that as much as possible.
Yeah, Jedi's primary weapon is a lightsaber. There need to be a lot of lightsaber fights, and they have to be good because our fans know the difference.
When I started getting my stances and some of the postures and, you know, started really getting my left hand up to par with my right, that I started to really feel like I was sinking into who Ahsoka was, because her physicality is such a huge part of who she is. No matter how tired I was like, sign me up for some more. Sign me up for some more.
All right. Here we go.
When you step into Star Wars and work with George, you are part of a legacy. You're part of a history, and we had to uphold that history.
I
And
think
yet
this is
do
like,
this
this is the clip they uploaded on Twitter.
completely new and different thing.
Ahsoka is another story where you can step in at any point and not feel that you necessarily have to have seen everything.
Nah, I don't. Hey, Kathleen Kennedy, man. Like, listen, I don't have the highest opinions on you, but what you just said right there was honestly kind of stupid. What?
Not feel that you necessarily is another story where you can step in at any point and not feel that you necessarily have to have seen everything.
That's true. You don't have to see everything when you watch Ahsoka, but it definitely helps if you've seen Rebels. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of somewhat to it. I'm trying to think, do you really need to see Rebels? I mean, I feel like you only need to see the episodes that have Ahsoka in Rebels to fully understand this story. No, because then you have to see the ending too, that last season. I don't know. I disagree with that. I mean, you don't necessarily have to see Clone Wars, but I would most definitely say, like, if you would definitely have a more enjoyable experience if you have seen both Clone Wars and Rebels, especially Rebels for this show, because it's continuing a story plot off Rebels. But I don't know. I disagree with what she just said.
From the beginning of this series, Ahsoka is out there on the fringe of the galaxy. When she hears whispers of this warlord's return,
Shout out Thrawn. Look at
she
Thrawn, man.
decides to
Woo!
enlist her friends' help.
Hera.
This is about preventing another war.
I always forget her name.
know,
That senator, dude. She's so iconic, and I
I'm
forget
not
her
sure
name all
she'll
the damn
want to
time.
help.
I'm telling the story about
She was amazing
this
in Andor.
mentor-student relationship that passes from Anakin to Ahsoka to Sabine.
There is nothing easy about being a Jedi.
It's quite extraordinary to bring this to life.
Hey, bro. Okay, here's my worry. Here's one of my worries. I think my only worry about the show. When I saw this clip on Twitter, right? Or X, whatever the fuck you want to call it. What got me worried was okay, I see what you're doing. You want to do the Master Prince thing with from Ahsoka to Sabine, right? That's cool. That's fine, right? But I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. If you make Sabine, or if you give Sabine the Force or any sort of Force power, I'm gonna fucking lose it, man. Because I'm just like, there's no fucking way they just pulled this shit off, right? There's no way. It's no way in hell Sabine should have Force powers. There's no way. No way, right? And I feel like I already see like an argument. It's like, what do you mean? Like it's not impossible. Look at Anakin. He was old considering how when he was scripted to have the Force. Yeah, that's true. And not only that, you have Ezra. Ezra was like her age. Well, she's a little bit older now, I think. But like in the show, I mean, in Rebels, when Ezra was discovered, he was way older and he had the Force. But that's not the point I'm getting at here. The point is like in Rebels, it was never once hinted at she had Force fucking powers. So if they go in here and they pull that bullshit on me, I'm gonna be like, no, she's fine as is. She's a Mandalorian. She's badass as fuck. Like I really like her story. And obviously you're continuing with this Master Apprentice like storyline, which is fine. Just don't include the Force power. She can hold a lightsaber. I don't give a fuck about her holding a lightsaber. But I swear, if you give her Force powers, I don't know what the fuck. I'm telling you right now, the Star Wars fans are not gonna like that. I'm telling you right now, they are not gonna like that at all, bro. They're not. I'm not gonna like it because it's stupid. You're whooping that shit out of your ass just to make it more cool or whatever the fuck you're trying to go for. Sabine is not Force sensitive. She should not be Force sensitive in this show. And if she becomes Force sensitive in this show, I swear to God, I'm gonna lose it. That's my only worry when it comes to this show. Other than that, bro, I'm excited for it. And I pray to God Dave doesn't do that because honestly, Dave Filoni is one of the few people, I think the only person I trust left at Lucasfilm. Jon Favreau lost me with the last season of Mandalorian, but then again, I get it. I still have a tiny bit of hope when it comes to Jon, just because I feel like Mando season 3 was really served as a wrap up, and it was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it definitely wasn't up to par with the first 2 seasons. But let's finish this video and end the video.
When the stakes are this high, we have to do what's right.
That's next week, man. Next week. Can't wait. But yeah, man, that's really it for me, man. You know my worry, my only worry. Other than that, excuse me, I had a burp there. Other than that, man, I'm looking forward to Ahsoka. Like I said, she's one of my favorite characters, my favorite female character everywhere in general. I mean, but yeah, man, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Now I gotta upload this bitch. Probably won't be able to before I have to go to work, which sucks. But either way, man, hope you enjoyed it. Have a great one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.